Telescopes have taken our astronomy to new heights. It has given us a chance to look at our space exploration from a new perspective. It has given us a chance to study cosmicry. And since the time telescopes started being sent, we have got another superpower, because the Earth's atmosphere itself observes cosmicry, and we do not have X-rays or visible light. And space telescopes have been introduced to fill this world of ours. Some of the successful ones have been more successful, like Hubble Space Telescope, Kepler, Chandra X-ray, and many more. And let me tell you that they are not of the same kind. It is not that a telescope is launched into space and it goes into the middle and starts capturing the images of galaxies and stars. In fact, no telescope does this. There are some types of telescopes that depend on which wavelengths they work on, and I will tell you that telescopes are made in 9 types, about which we will start knowing in detail. First, and most important, a telescope collects the radiation emitted from astrophysical sources and measures it. The radiation is absorbed in the Earth's atmosphere. Hence, we have only one way to detect it, and that is the radiation generated by neutron stars, black holes, and pulsars. Music. And this type of telescope includes the European Space Agency's Integral Telescope, which was launched in 2002. Music, launched in 2004. Italian Space Agency's Agali Telescope, launched in 2007. NASA's Fermi Gamma Ray Space Telescope, launched in 2008, Jaipur Limited, i.e. GAP telescope, which was launched in 2010. In 1999, the 100 to 200 nm telescope was launched, which is still active and is studying our planet in space. The second most important telescope measures high-energy photons, which we know as X-rays. This energy does not cross the atmosphere of our Earth, so to study it, we will have to use the Peace Best telescope. There are many types of astrophysical objects in space that keep emitting rays, like galaxies, nuclear supernovae, binary stars, and neutron stars. Till now, 38 ray telescopes have been launched, out of which 11 are still active. NASA's Chandrayaan Observatory and European Space Agency's Newton were launched in 1999. India has a space telescope named AstroSet, which was launched in 2015. China also has an X-ray modulation telescope in space, which was launched in 2017. Let's move forward. The next type above is the ultraviolet type. Ultraviolet telescopes can observe ultraviolet wavelengths from 10 to 320 nanometers, and such ultraviolet telescopes have been released, out of which 6 telescopes are still in use. NASA and European Space Agency's Hubble Space Telescope was launched in 1990. The next type is the visible light telescope. Optical and visible light astronomy is an old form of astronomy in which we observe visible light moving in space between 400 to 700 nanometers. This type of telescope is used to see things like planets, stars, galaxies, and disks. Till now, a total of 12 optical telescopes have been launched, out of which 8 are still active. Some of the most important telescopes among these are NASA. The next most important light is of lower energy than visible light. That is, it must have been released by an object that is slightly cooler than visible. Till now, 12 telescopes have been released to study infrared light, and only 3 of these are active right now. The next type of telescope is the microwave telescope. Microwave space telescopes are used to measure the parameters of the cosmic microwave background. They also measure dust, radiation, galaxy clusters, as well as extragalactic compact sources revolving in our own galaxy. Till now, only 4 such telescopes have been launched, out of which only 1 is active. The next most important telescope is the radio telescope. Friends, our atmosphere is transparent for radio waves, yet we had to send 2 radio telescopes into space for the experiment. Supernova and starbursts release particles. Through this, we detect particles in space. This type of telescope studies the solar energy released by the particles, cosmic ray, extragalactic cosmic rays, and ultra-high-energy cosmic rays released by active galaxies. Till now, this type of telescope has been launched, out of which only 3 are active. Out of these, 2 telescopes belong to NASA and 1 belongs to China. And the last telescope in this type is the Gravitational Wave Telescope. This type of telescope detects gravitational waves. Also, due to the collision of neutron stars and black holes, it expands the ripple of space-time. But till now, only 1 telescope of this type was launched. European Space Agency's Leaky Wave Finder, which was launched in 2015. It studied gravity for 2 years.